The Stoic philosophy teaches us to understand human nature and maintain control over our emotions. In relationships, applying this wisdom can help men navigate their interactions with women more effectively. Today, we'll explore the key weaknesses of women, not to exploit them, but to better understand the dynamics of attraction and connection. This knowledge, paired with Stoicism, helps us build stronger relationships by focusing on our reactions rather than trying to manipulate others. Lesson 1: Emotional vulnerability. One of the most significant traits women often possess is emotional vulnerability. While this can be seen as a weakness, it's important to recognize that vulnerability is also a source of strength in relationships. Women, by nature, tend to be more in touch with their emotions than men. This sensitivity often leads to moments of doubt, insecurity, and the need for emotional support. However, from a Stoic perspective, emotional vulnerability should not be used as a tool of manipulation. Instead, it serves as an opportunity to foster deeper connections based on trust and understanding. For a Stoic man, recognizing emotional vulnerability allows him to remain calm and provide a solid emotional foundation for his partner. This steadiness doesn't mean that a man suppresses his emotions, but rather that he maintains control over them, offering reassurance and security. A Stoic man is there to support, but never to enable emotional dependency. He respects a woman's emotional state, but doesn't let it sway his own values and principles. Understanding this dynamic can help build mutual respect in a relationship, creating an environment where both individuals feel supported and understood. Lesson 2: Desire for validation. Women often have a strong desire for validation, and this is deeply rooted in societal expectations. From appearance to success, women frequently seek external affirmation to feel valued. However, constant reliance on external validation can become a weakness, especially when it leads to self-doubt or insecurity. Men can leverage this understanding by acknowledging that true strength comes from within, aligning with Stoic principles of self-sufficiency. A Stoic man understands that he should not be the source of constant validation for his partner. He knows that while occasional compliments and affirmations are appreciated, his role is to encourage inner strength in others, not to reinforce a cycle of dependence on external praise. Helping a woman recognize her own worth without always relying on outside approval can lead to a more balanced, empowered dynamic. This approach doesn't involve ignoring her needs, but guiding her towards self-reliance, aligning with the Stoic virtue of resilience. Lesson 3: Insecurity about aging. Many women feel pressure to maintain youth and beauty, which society often places on them as markers of value. This anxiety about aging and appearance can become a profound weakness, making them susceptible to feelings of inadequacy or fear of losing their attractiveness. For men, understanding this common insecurity can help foster a more compassionate approach in relationships. From a Stoic viewpoint, aging is a natural process that should be accepted with grace. A man who practices Stoicism understands the impermanence of physical beauty and values the essence of a person beyond their appearance. He doesn't judge his partner based on superficial traits, but appreciates her character, wisdom, and growth. By demonstrating that age is not a flaw, but a testament to experience and depth, a man can help diminish the power of this insecurity in his relationship. In doing so, he helps create an environment of mutual acceptance and respect for each other's evolving selves. Lesson 4: Fear of rejection. Rejection is a powerful fear that affects everyone, but women can be particularly sensitive to it due to societal conditioning. Fear of rejection often stems from the need for acceptance and belonging. This fear can lead to a reluctance to take risks or assert oneself, leaving women vulnerable to manipulation or control in relationships. Recognizing this fear allows men to approach interactions with greater empathy and patience. For the Stoic man, rejection is merely a part of life. He knows that his worth is not determined by the opinions of others and remains grounded in his principles regardless of external outcomes. By embodying this mindset, a man can help his partner overcome her fear of rejection, showing her that failure or rejection is not something to be feared, but rather a learning experience. He offers reassurance not by offering empty promises, but by teaching the Stoic principle of indifference to external judgments, focusing on what can be controlled, one's own actions and mindset. Lesson 5. Influence of peer pressure. Women are often more susceptible to peer pressure, especially when it comes to societal expectations around appearance, relationships, and career choices. This vulnerability to external influences can cloud their judgment and lead them to prioritize others' opinions over their own values and desires. Understanding this allows men to be more mindful of how external factors can affect their partners. Stoicism teaches us to remain unaffected by the opinions of others. For a Stoic man, the goal is to lead by example, showing that true contentment comes from within and not from conforming to societal standards. In relationships, this principle can be invaluable. By helping a woman recognize the importance of staying true to herself, free from the opinions of others, a man can offer a stabilizing force in her life. This doesn't mean ignoring societal pressures, but rather navigating them with integrity, focusing on internal peace rather than external validation. Lesson 6. Emotional investment in relationships. Women often invest deeply in their relationships, both emotionally and mentally. While this is a beautiful aspect of their nature, it can also become a source of weakness if the relationship becomes the sole focus of their happiness. This intense emotional investment can lead to feelings of loss or devastation when a relationship encounters difficulties. For men, understanding this tendency allows them to navigate their relationships with sensitivity and balance. A Stoic man understands that while relationships are important, they should not define a person's entire existence. He encourages his partner to find fulfillment within herself, rather than relying on the relationship to provide her with happiness. By promoting self-reliance and emotional independence, he helps create a relationship where both individuals can thrive as autonomous beings. This approach not only strengthens the bond, but also reduces the risk of emotional dependency, leading to a healthier, more balanced connection. Lesson 7. Sensitivity to criticism. Criticism can be particularly challenging for women, especially when it comes to personal or emotional matters. This sensitivity often arises from the desire to be seen as competent and valued in various aspects of life, including work, appearance, and relationships. Harsh criticism can lead to self-doubt, frustration, and emotional turmoil. For men, understanding this sensitivity can help them communicate more effectively in relationships. In the Stoic philosophy, criticism is seen as an opportunity for growth. A Stoic man approaches criticism with detachment, focusing on whether the feedback is valid rather than reacting emotionally. By adopting this mindset in relationships, he can guide his partner toward a healthier view of criticism. Instead of fearing it, she can learn to view it as a tool for self-improvement, just as the Stoics teach. This shift in perspective can help reduce emotional sensitivity to feedback and foster personal growth. Lesson 8. Desire for stability and security. Many women have a deep-rooted desire for stability and security, both emotionally and financially. This need can sometimes make them vulnerable to staying in unfulfilling relationships or making decisions based on fear rather than genuine desire. Recognizing this desire allows men to approach relationships with compassion, offering reassurance without enabling dependency. A Stoic man understands that true security comes from within, not from external circumstances. He remains steadfast in his values, providing emotional and financial stability through his own actions and mindset. He doesn't rely on material wealth or superficial achievements to offer security, but rather embodies the Stoic principle of inner strength. By leading by example, a Stoic man encourages his partner to find her own sense of security, helping her realize that true stability comes from resilience and self-reliance. This approach fosters independence while still offering the emotional support that is often needed in a relationship, creating a balance between partnership and personal growth. In relationships, the Stoic man recognizes that he cannot control the external world, but he can control how he responds to the needs and desires of his partner. By providing emotional stability, he creates a safe environment for her to explore her own path to inner security without becoming overly dependent on him or the relationship. This creates a dynamic where both partners can thrive independently, yet support one another fully. Lesson 9. Fear of being alone. Many women, like men, fear loneliness and may make decisions in relationships based on this fear. The fear of being alone can lead to staying in unhealthy relationships, compromising personal values, or rushing into commitments out of desperation rather than true connection. Understanding this fear can help men approach their relationships with patience and empathy, ensuring that decisions are made from a place of genuine connection rather than fear. Stoicism teaches us that being alone is not something to be feared, but embraced as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. A Stoic man is comfortable with solitude and seeks to instill this confidence in his partner. He understands that alone time is essential for developing inner peace and self-awareness, and he encourages his partner to embrace these moments rather than fear them. By living with the Stoic principle that external circumstances, like being in a relationship or being alone, do not define one's worth, a man can help his partner build her own resilience. This approach helps reduce the fear of loneliness, making the relationship a space of mutual growth rather than a shield against isolation. Through this understanding, both individuals in the relationship can approach companionship as a choice, not a necessity, leading to a stronger, more intentional bond. Lesson 10. Struggle with setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is often a challenge for women, particularly in relationships where they feel the need to please or avoid conflict. This can become a weakness when a woman sacrifices her own needs or values in order to maintain harmony. Men can support their partners by understanding this tendency and helping them develop stronger, healthier boundaries. In Stoicism, maintaining personal boundaries is crucial to living a virtuous life. A Stoic man knows the importance of respecting others while also ensuring that his own values and needs are not compromised. By encouraging his partner to establish and enforce her own boundaries, he helps create a relationship that is built on mutual respect and autonomy. A Stoic man approaches boundaries not as limitations, but as essential elements of a healthy relationship. He understands that both partners must feel free to express their needs and limits without fear of judgment or rejection. This dynamic leads to a more balanced, equitable relationship where both individuals feel empowered to be themselves. By promoting self-respect and autonomy in his partner, the Stoic man helps her overcome the struggle of setting boundaries, which ultimately strengthens the relationship. Lesson 11. Overthinking and emotional turmoil. Women are often more prone to overthinking, especially in emotional situations. This tendency can lead to unnecessary stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Overthinking can cause women to dwell on minor issues, blow things out of proportion, or misinterpret situations, leading to emotional turmoil. Recognizing this trait can help men navigate emotional conversations with sensitivity and calmness. Stoicism offers practical wisdom in dealing with overthinking. A Stoic man understands that we cannot control the thoughts that arise, but we can control how we respond to them. He applies this principle to his relationship by encouraging his partner to focus on what she can control: her own actions, reactions, and mindset. By providing a calm and reassuring presence, he helps her manage her thoughts without becoming overwhelmed by them. In moments of emotional turmoil, a Stoic man remains steady, offering support without getting caught up in the emotional whirlwind. He listens without judgment, helping his partner process her feelings without letting them control her. By reminding her of the Stoic principle that external events do not determine her inner peace, he helps her find balance in difficult times. Over time, a Stoic man can guide his partner to develop her own mental discipline, reducing the impact of overthinking on her well-being. He encourages her to practice mindfulness, focus on the present moment, and release unnecessary worries. This approach helps her cultivate a calmer, more centered mind, allowing her to overcome emotional turmoil with grace and resilience. Conclusion. Understanding these common female weaknesses isn't about manipulation or control. Instead, it's about fostering empathy, patience, and respect in relationships. By applying Stoic principles, a man can help his partner navigate her insecurities and fears, leading to a stronger, healthier relationship where both individuals thrive. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from within, and that by cultivating inner peace, we can create harmony in our relationships, guiding others to do the same.